A very pleasant evening to respected Director Sir Professor K.K. Pant, Deputy Director Professor Maniranjan Parida, Dean of Student Welfare. Sorry. Uh, Professor U.P. Singh, Dean of Student Welfare Professor M.K. Barua, Dean of Academic Affairs Professor Apurv Kumar Sharma, Dean Strict Professor Akshay Dwivedi, and the students present. We welcome you to today's open house session with our respective director, Sir Professor K.K. Pant.
We would like to thank Sir for, we would first like to welcome him to today's session and thank him for accepting our invite to attend this open house. So I'll start with a brief introduction of Sir. Sir is an alumnus of IIT Kanpur and Professor. Okay, so Sir is an alumnus of IIT Kanpur. Professor Pant completed his BTech from HBTI Kanpur and his MTech from IIT Kanpur. And he also did his PhD from IIT Kanpur. Over a long, illustrious career spanning over 30 years, Professor Pant has established his name within the industrial research in academia as one of the leading academicians of the country. And he has, to his credit, over 220 publications with over 11,746 citations and numerous patents. And I would like to mention that recently Sir's name was featured in the top 2% scientists worldwide in the field of chemical engineering in a study by Oxford University, which is a very huge accomplishment, I believe.
Sir, I would like to start with the first question. The question is, how has your experience in Roorkee been in the past 3-4 months? And what was the one major thing which you found to be different between IIT Delhi and IIT Roorkee?
Yeah, first of all, very good evening to all of you. And thank you to all the undergrad team for inviting me here and putting me in the box, right, asking the questions. Indeed, it had been a pleasure for me, right, after 23 years of my service at IIT Delhi and working on different capacities there with a large number of PhD students. And in the month of October, when I joined here, it was really because I know the flora and fauna of IIT Roorkee compared to Delhi, right? The climate always had been a challenge. All the time there were issues related to fog and, right, what you see, stubble burning during the month of October to December. And Roorkee weather is indeed pleasant, so I like that weather and, right, the kind of environment, infrastructure. Of course, it's really a kind of, right, welcome for me. And IIT Roorkee, when I came here, I got many things because there was the celebration of 175 years of establishment. So, lot of, right, activities had during that period, lot of seminars, conferences, and I participated in almost all the conferences, right, as a guest or in the different capacity. It was a very good experience for me because for past 23 years I was restricted to a domain of chemical engineering, and now I can say I can check off all, right, from all 23 departments, schools or centers which are here. I had to read, right, when I have to go for the right inaugural. I have to read what is this department doing, right? What are the right areas of expertise in that way, and now I got to know many things. Then we had the foundation day. I enjoyed, right, and a lot of new things happened during that time also. It was really a very great experience for me. Finally, GC, right, that was the first time in history of IIT Roorkee we got the GC. So it was again, then 3 times in consecutive, right, this CII award for the industrial research that was won by IIT Roorkee. Lot of new projects, lot of activities have been done. So in fact, it's a very new experience for me as an administrator, that is a director of the institute, and with the support of all the faculty members, staff, and students, right, I am really thankful to all of them, and I think it's going on much better. If you ask me to compare the two, right, because I presume that all IITs are equally good, right, and whenever the student asks me about the counseling, during the counseling, where to join, which branch is good, I just say that every branch of science and engineering is good. And nowadays, since the things are coming up in a better way, when you talk about multidisciplinary research, right? So whatever the engineering branch of, or whatever the science you are doing, at the end, it is for societal importance. And when you are able to transform your knowledge to the society, right, it will automatically make you a business also, right? Give you a business, or it will be a source of revenue generation. Uh, One thing which I would like to say, compare, if you compare, right, we, right, always talk about 7 IITs, right, which are already well established, and we are at 6 at present. When I see Delhi, it is either second or third, right? That's the one of the difference which I would like to bridge in future. Second thing is the when I came here, I had studied the SWOT analysis, what you call strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, right? For every, even for your business or when you go for entrepreneurship or startup, you have to understand that SWOT analysis, right? Before looking at the whether this business is feasible or not. So SWOT analysis is very important. So I too did that, right? Even when I went for interaction, I did the SWOT analysis of all the IITs where I was looking at prospectus. And that time I observed that, right, IIT Roorkee has all the facility, excellent facility, very high quality faculty standard, which are available in all 5 to 6 IITs, right? But somewhere we are lacking also, because if you look at QS ranking, if you are looking NIRF ranking, there is a difference, right? So we at IIT Roorkee, right, if you look at the past 10 years data, continuously between 360 and 400, right? If you compare it with other IITs or ISC, right, which are the considered among the top, these 4 5 IITs, and they are between 150 and 200, right? So it means we have to reach to that level, right? This is one of the differences which I could see, and I would like to bridge, and that's why I said that when India will sign at 2047, IIT Roorkee will be celebrating 200 years of establishment, and that time we should be within 100, and that's what I'm targeting. Thank you.
So it's a pleasure to know that you have had a nice experience in Roorkee till now. So you talked about like business and how research should be oriented around business. So the top 5 IITs have a very rich startup culture as of now, and Roorkee in recent years has tried to build one of its own. We are working towards that. So how do you envision this journey, and what are your short-term goals so that we can achieve this?
Yeah. So again, as I said that while doing this SWOT analysis, always when we talk about India 2047 or IIT Roorkee 2047, we had during the this 175 years of celebration a brainstorming session also on that. And I would like to have another brainstorming session in terms of the vision of IIT Roorkee, long term or short term. So short term, definitely, I said that we are working on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we would like to see the women participation and participation of other, right, the people from the society in science, engineering, and when you talk about STEM, right, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right. So that is where I would like to see implementation of new education policy 2020, which is the need of the hour, and I think it is in favor of the student. Already we had in fact a brainstorming session. Already this has gone now to the Senate also. So soon you will see a new curriculum which will be much more vibrant, right? It has nothing like what you see all the time, right? The classroom, right, and bookish knowledge. So we will come out of that box, and it has more and more practical knowledge, and where you can apply your knowledge, whatever you are reading, through practical, right? And that will give you the opportunity to look at the own what we saw as again talk in terms of make in India concept, right? How the our student can develop the own entrepreneurship skill, what we call EDP, right, and provide the jobs for many. So I think that would be the my short term vision. Long term, as I said, we have to bring right IIT Roorkee in among top 100 in the QS ranking, which will, right, for that we need to do lot of work, because when we are talking about from here to next 25, then I would like to see at least 10 unicorns from IIT, right, IIT Roorkee unicorns. We already have 140 startups ongoing. Now I would like to see how these startups can be converted into commercial, right, business kind of thing. So that's very important. So implementation of NEP is the immediate goal, and then how the students can be motivated, right, by using this NEP policy, and look at the own startup activities. So we have the tinkering lab, we are asking every year thousands of these kind of ideas. Out of 1,000 ideas, I will look forward with the support of faculty to shortlist the selected right ideas which can be taken forward with the support of the finance from the SRIC office. And then out of these, suppose we can have 50 and 50 can be converted to 10, or at least 2 3 if these comes every year. I think we will have a very good signing IIT Roorkee campus.
So you mentioned about the 10 unicorns. So in your opinion, to actually start the idea, is it important to give a certain benefit to students who are doing entrepreneurship? That is in terms of credits related to courses, or some benefit in their grading, since developing a startup at a young age takes a lot of time, and it's sometimes not possible to develop it with academics ongoing. So, in your opinion, is it good to provide a certain benefit to students who are indulging in entrepreneurship?
It's not certain benefit in terms of lot of benefits, I will say, right? And in new education policy, if you go through that, right, you have the opportunities to do course in one semester, go to industry another semester, or do your own entrepreneurship business in one semester with 4 or 5 students. Take some idea and think on that. You can go for 6 months, 1 year, and then again come back and do your degree, right? So multiple entries, multiple exits. You can go anywhere to some industry, right, of your own choice, where you would like to learn the things. You can go abroad also, where, right, the funds are also available. That depends in limited funds for selected students, and that can be, right, utilized. So opportunities are there, and the purpose is there. We want to see our own students flourish, develop their own entrepreneurship skills, and set up the industries, right? It will take time. It's not like, right, in a day. You have to take enough time, have a brainstorming sessions among yourself, identify, look at do a complete SWOT analysis, and then develop the right process or product, and then go forward, right? You can have some kind of apps development, right? Like Chayoj, right? He was the chemical engineer of IIT Delhi, right? He started at Chayoj, right? So those kind of business can be done, right? So what I mean to say, it's not that you restrict to your own branch of engineering. Engineering, the what you are reading here, it giving you a kind of mind development or skill development, and through that you can go in any branch of science engineering, right, or business, right.
So, moving on to the next question. So, in the responses that we got from students, a lot of them have raised concerns about the lack of transparency and the absence of clear communication between the students and the administration. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Actually, I did not observe this thing, the lack of transparency. I don't know, because see, if you look at our academic curriculum, right? Academic curriculum, generally we take the feedback from the student, right? Just for an example, while we developed the curriculum of IIT Delhi, we did a thorough study, right? And similar studies were done here. I was told by the Dean Academic also. And when we saw that the students, most of the students wrote that we are heavily loaded, then we reduce the curriculum from or course structure credits from 200 to 150. So now your credits are between 150 and 160, which is reasonable. Then many students, right, they said that we don't want to read chemical engineering, right? Then we gave them the opportunity to go to computer science, provided you have to work hard, right? Your CGPA should be at certain level. So after third year, you can do the major and minor in the computer science or AI, ML, data science, deep learning, whatever the area you want, right? You can go for the some management also. And in fact, we are looking forward for improvement on some of the course structures also. So now you have opportunities to do the minor, which will take 15 to 20 credits out of 100. So only 55% is your core branch, which may be textile, chemical, or any unwanted that where you feel that the branch is not good, right? Because we always have a mindset which is not a correct mindset. I am trying to change that mindset also, because every branch of science and engineering is important. If you want to do business, right, it will require a multidisciplinary approach, right? So you need to learn the right how to do business, which will require everything in terms of science engineering. So I think there is throughout transparency in any academic system, right? Sometimes we feel that, right, this has not been justified, say grading, right? There are 100 students, the grading is as per the policy, right? But if somebody has got some poor grade, he may have a different kind of mindset, right? But otherwise we try, and that's why I have already sensitized all faculty members. Minor copies should be shown on time, right? That is very important. Assignments, tutorials, whatever happens, the faculty member or whoever the TA, they have to show the right answer book. If you are not getting, do let me know, right? So I would like to see the total marks, what we call PMT, right? Pre-major display, that marks should be displayed. So now you have clear cut what is the marks, right? You got. And the minor answer book you see, you are satisfied, you know your total, right? And you know that how the relative gradings are done, A minus, whatever the right, and average, whatever. So there is a transparency. Similarly, in academic, this curriculum, this has been designed and developed after having the inputs from the students, right? And our Senate member, the student members are also there. They are participating. In all DPACs, in all hostel activities, students are there. It is the policy, hostel policy, it is from the student, right? So, but even if you feel, do let me know. To my knowledge, I think it is throughout transparent. Was the UP Singh or?
Yeah, see, we have full transparency in the system. We believe in the transparency, but we have no knowledge that there is some problem, there is lack of transparency in the system. But if, as a student, you people feel that there is improvement necessary, we are ready to accept your suggestions. But we still believe that we have full transparency.
Yeah, we will try to make transparency. So, Barwa, in a hostel, do you think?
In fact, if you look at all the committees, there are student representatives, be it security advisory committee, be it hospital administration committee, be it DAPC, CAPC, common council, any committee or any body where students are not there, even including Senate.
Yeah, I think here's some point, yeah.
So there was a recent change in our curriculum system. Take your question answer after.
We'll take
No,
questions.
no, no, let him, yeah. No
We had
issue.
a recent change about NPTEL.
Yeah.
Earlier we had NPTEL courses for OACs, which were removed recently. I guess, as you told, you take opinions of students. I guess none of the senior members or the students were ready with it.
Regarding NPTEL. But do you want that you should go, a IIT student should go and take the NPTEL unless the course is very important?
So there are not enough number of PCs in the
And then in that case, we already made it. The department, your department has to agree, right? Go ahead.
So that makes the process cumbersome for the students itself.
No, no, it's not at all. See, why I stress? See, I never asked students to go for, right, even on my own PhD student, I never allowed them to go out and take these NPTEL courses. You know for what purpose it were made? These were made for the private engineering college or state engineering college where there were not the sufficient faculty. At IIT, every IIT, we feel that we have the enough faculty strength, we have very high quality faculty who can teach that subject. If in case, I have said, in case the course is very specific and the institute is not running, then we will allow. Otherwise, what happens? It becomes a mockery of the system, and you are IITians. Make it important that kind of confidence you should have, right? If you want to go to a cooler course which will improve your grade, I think in future you will regret for that. That's what I am always telling all the students. NPTEL, don't find any kind of those which will make you negative in your card.
It's not always about cooler things. Yeah, in NPTEL we have a lot of variety of courses.
हाँ तो लो, वो अगर है तो लो, वो तो हमने कहा हुआ. Yes, would you like to say?
Yeah. What you said is perfectly correct, and what you are telling is probably is not as per the data we have. So the NPTEL courses, number of students taking NPTEL courses rose in one semester from 200 to 750. This is my data. It is there. It is not that all these 750 students they are not getting any courses in IIT Roorkee. I tabulated those courses also. Programming with C++, programming in C++. That course, I don't know in IIT Roorkee how many departments are offering that course.
Why? You take the course from Stanford, Purdue, MIT, I will allow. You take the course from any IIT, other IIT, I will allow. Right? That I am giving you here that if you want, the course has important, I will allow.
And for many medical cases or some this type of medical cases, etc., I myself have allowed so many students. Like this number has again come down within 50
Yes.
this time, but these are
अब C++ के लिए यार तुम वहां क्यों जाओगे बताओ मुझे. आईआईटी में क्या हमारे पास कंप्यूटर साइंस में एक्सपर्ट नहीं है कोई भी. खुद सोचो तुम, पाइथन तुम्हें सीखनी है, यहाँ एक्सपर्ट नहीं होगा क्या? कल को वही जो कर रहे होगे ना, वो लोग कहेंगे कि आईआईटी रुड़की के बच्चे तो यहाँ आ रहे थे, जब तुम कैंपस में प्लेसमेंट में जाते हो तो वो नेगेटिव होता है. I have already analyzed that why our OSC, right, has the poor record compared to IIT Delhi. You were asking, I did not say that time. IIT रुड़की के बच्चे जब जाते हैं प्लेसमेंट के लिए, even I am talking PhD student, थोड़ा सा जो MNCs है उनके माइंड में नेगेटिविटी है. उसका रीजन यही है. ऑडिट में करो, ऑडिट में जितने करना चाहते हो हम अलाउ करेंगे. Now you came to the right point. So to improve your grade, you are going there, right? नहीं 9 क्यों रखी है? उसको नीचे लाओ, बार को नीचे लाओ ना. हम तो नंबर फिक्स कर देंगे, उसमें क्या दिक्कत है? उसको डिस्कस कर सकते हैं. आई थिंक डिस्कस विद डीन एकेडमिक, वी विल डू दैट. अगर वो दिक्कत है तो वील डू. और उसके अलावा भी व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, अगर कोई स्पेसिफिक कोर्स है, आप AI ML डीप लर्निंग उसमें लेके आइए. आप कहिए कि दिस कोर्स इज बीइंग टॉट एट पर्टिकुलर यूनिवर्सिटी इन US, राइट, तो विच इज ऑफ दिस रैंकिंग. IIT के रुड़की के रैंकिंग से ऊपर वाली यूनिवर्सिटी कोई भी ले आइए. वी विल अलाउ यू, प्रोवाइडेड योर डिपार्टमेंट एग्रीज टू दैट. और वो कोई कॉम्बर्सम नहीं है, ऑनलाइन ईमेल पे अप्रूव करा दीजिए, उसके प्रोसीजर बना दीजिए जी. हाँ, आई अंडरस्टैंड. उसको हम मल्टीपल में कर सकते हैं. नहीं, वी कैन हैव मल्टीपल साइकिल्स. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम looking forward for increasing the number of faculty in the campus. That is again another goal in the short term. We are recruiting a large number of faculty. I hope that soon these problems will be resolved. हम number of cycles बढ़ा देंगे, ठीक है. और जो आपकी अगर कोई स्पेसिफिक कोर्स है उसमें कहीं भी नेगेटिव मना नहीं है, वो अभी भी अलाउड है ना. आप 2 के बजाय 3 कोर्स करिए आप, लेकिन थोड़ा सा कोर्स का लेवल अच्छा होना चाहिए. He was in the Senate when this was discussed.
It was very much mentioned in the of course I agree it did not come as an agenda item in the specific agenda item in the Senate, but it was discussed. That's what I'm saying. It was not coming as an agenda item of Senate, but it was very much discussed in the Senate. The student representatives were there in the Senate, and your student representative also told me later.
वैसे वो कोई हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल नहीं है, जो मैंने कहा ना, आप लेके आइए, आपका DAPC एग्री कर देगा, हमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ना. उसमें ये नहीं है कि मना हो गया, लेकिन मैं ये चाह रहा हूँ पॉजिटिविटी ये होगी कि आप यहीं पे कोर्स करें. IIT के बच्चे बाहर क्यों करेंगे जाके कोर्स, वो सोचना है ना. उसके लिए फ्यूचर में सजेशन दीजिए कि वो कोर्स फ्लोट करें यहाँ पे. वी विल डू दैट, राइट. हाँ, वो बढ़ा देंगे, वो बढ़ा देंगे. यस.
Dilute the system. Whatever the courses running here, our students are not taking our courses but preferring somebody else. That does not speak good of our system, good of your system. Our system is not my system or is not Professor Khan's system. It's your system. You are part of the system. Okay, so you obviously you don't want your system to be put down in comparison to another who is teaching you are downgrading your own like professor, not taking your own professor courses, and you are preparing some other like courses from taught by other universities. Probably that like does not give a good feel to you as well.
And in fact, I think when the new curriculum will come, you have the opportunity even from here, Roorkee, you can go to Delhi, you can do the course, right? That is also there. ISC जाओ वहाँ जाके कोर्स कर लो, तो वो इक्वलेंट जैसे इंटर्नशिप पे समर में जाते हो, आप वहाँ यूएस में जा रहे हो, वहाँ कोर्स कर लीजिए, वो यहाँ दिखा दीजिए, वो हो जाएगा आपका, है ना? तो एनईपी में तो ये सब एडवांटेज है. तो आई थिंक हाँ, इट्स अ वेरी फ्लेक्सिबल करिकुलम नाउ. कहीं भी जाके 10 क्रेडिट यहाँ करिए, 10 क्रेडिट दूसरी यूनिवर्सिटी में करिए, दैट इज अलाउड नाउ.
Thank you, sir, for interacting with the students too. So, moving on to the next question, IIT Roorkee currently lacks like infrastructure in terms of current student needs. Multiple campus groups have to share rooms in SAC, and many of them don't even have rooms as of now. And there is a lack of co-working spaces for students who are not involved in these campus groups as such. So, like, what is being done? Library closes at 12 a.m. Like, if there are no exams, library closes at 12. So, what is being done, or what can we do to improve the situation so that there are more spaces for students?
Yeah, I think SAC, MAC are sufficient, but I feel because I visited SAC, I found the ground floor is empty, right? Individual rooms sometimes I think would be difficult, but we are trying to look at that option because I was discussing with the Dean of Student also on that. One of the options that we were discussing is in the Ganga Bhavan, right? Top floor of the Ganga Bhavan. We are trying to work for that. Alaknanda Club. And also we are looking some couple of other space. So our space audit process is on. So after that, if some of the space will be available, definitely I will just look at, and I will just as the Dean of Student also just to work on it. Any point would you like to add on?
The point is there are large number of groups. In fact, it's good that there is a shortage of space, isn't it? Because everybody is coming up with a new group, right? So everybody cannot be given a separate room. So we are trying to get a large space above Ganga Bhavan. Soon we will have several rooms on that.
I think slotting can be done. Whatever the available, right, right, SAC, MAC, the time slots can be made. Another thing, I think library we will look. If you want 24-hour, it is good that students are so much studious. So we will just make that open. And Professor Sharma, do you have any?
I think we made it like our LNC few rooms also open.
Yeah. Okay.
24 hours during that exam period and just before the exam on the request of the students, and we put our persons also to like see their requirements or etc. And we made it available.
Yeah.
24 by 7.
Sure. Yeah. I think library remains open during the exam 24/7. So that is fine. But even if you need some extra time for library, I'll just look forward, right? I'll talk to librarian and they can be made available whenever you need. Right?
Sir, about this problem, so for people who are not in campus groups, for example, if they have to work on a project, they can't find any space because in the library there is supposed to be silence. And otherwise, SAC and MAC, it's an open space, but there is no space to sit and no space to collaborate. So that is a problem that a lot of people have faced.
That's what I think. So I think Ganga Bhavan or the other places we can just make certain space.
To begin with, we are going to open the rooms Cogni and Hon'ble, because those two groups were only for maximum 6 months of the year. For remaining 6 months, we will provide that particular room for to begin. Later on,
Yeah. So let us give us some time. So let us identify the proper space, and through space audit also we will be able to find some place. So I think we'll do something. Sure.
Thank you, sir. So, moving on to the next question. So, post COVID, a lot of cultural activities saw setback, and the electoral procedure has been disrupted with the DAPCs, like also being delayed, DSPC elections being delayed, and last year the convocation was not held. So, how do you plan to improve the situation so that we can like get back to the original place we were before COVID?
And this is very right important and pertinent question. And COVID has affected entire community. So and it was a global problem, and pandemic entirely affected 2 years of all academic institutes. But having said that, we should always be ready for those such kind of calamity. It may be natural, it may be some kind of man-made, or but we should always be ready, and that is where we have to face, and sometimes we learn also from these kind of calamities. So online teaching and what you said now, NPTEL, these are the some of the advantage what we learned during that crisis. Having said that, uh, I understand that the convocation is still not done. So you mentioned that still we are communicating to different ministry and just to find the date, and still we have not been given date because few things are not in our hand. So we are trying, myself, Professor UP Singh, we are trying hard to get the date for convocation, because still we are hoping that Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji will come. In case if it doesn't come, then that's what we are just looking the alternate also. So probably in the month of March, you will be able to coordinate that convocation activity. And what was the second part? DAPC election. I discussed this issue with Professor Barwa, and I think that soon he is coordinating this activity. Hopefully soon you will have the DAPC. But I think already the earlier committee had continued till further notice that has been announced. Would you like to add anything on that?
So we conducted elections at institute level and ground level, and soon we will be having elections for department also. In fact, we had elections for Kalam campus. So this election soon we will conduct.
So, but I think other activities soon, I assure you, because the next JEE exam will be on time, and I think probably 1st of June, and then our next semester the first year students will be there on time. So probably we hope that from subsequent semester our all the entire activities will be on the proper track. So this is what I am hoping.
So moving on, you mentioned that how important the internship and placements are for the student and for the institute. So sometimes the intern and placement seasons are a lot exhausting for the students because they have to give tests and interviews, and side by side they have to manage their classes as well as assignments and quizzes. So the academic schedule is not aligned to prevent this from happening. That is, with the intern season, the tests are going on, exams are going on. So do you feel that something could be done to reduce the mental burden on the students?
See, again the same answer. Now NEP has taken care of many things, right? But I was just looking at the calendar and I was discussing with Dean Academic, right? It, because by 31st, 30th of November, I think everything is completed. The entire semester academic activities are closed. And interviews generally starts from 1st of December. All these OSC activities, it starts from 1st of December. So by that time, I think there is nothing like, that's what I said, that our academic curriculum and the schedule should be well placed, and the calendar should come in the beginning of the semester, right? And I have already asked all the faculty members also, because this the time schedule is very important, right? The morning 8 a.m. if the class starts, and evening whatever the time 5:36. The classes should be as per the schedule, so that there should not be any lag. If there is a gap, then makeup should be done on the subsequent Saturdays or before this 30th November, right? And assignment, tutorial, whatever the job that should be finished by that time, PMT should be displayed, right? So in that case, I think the OSC activities are done after, and this is in every IIT, right? The same, they have given a calendar, and then the multinationals or all these companies, they come after that. So I don't think that this there is any mismatch in that.
So with the intern season specifically, there
Internship only for the third year students, right? Third year student, they go for intern in the month of May, right? When the semester close, they go for 42 days, whatever the 6 weeks of training. And that is also, I think, these third year students, they plan accordingly, and then in case there is a specific case, do let me know. Then as a special case, we will arrange, right? But otherwise, these students, they have already a right actual what they are doing, they are going during the interns for during the summer. They know the things, and accordingly they plan. Right? But if there is anything missing, then do let me know. Do you have any right comment on this academic calendar?
Whatever you said is perfectly correct. Like November 30th, before November 30th, autumn semester, all activities get completed.
Yeah, this is in every IIT because see the placement. Remember, placement is common in all IITs now. In all IITs.
It is very much aligned, and for the internship also, before May 13th or so, this time exact date I have forgotten, but maybe May 13 or so, all activities related to the spring semester, current semester will get over. So from
Yes.
May 15 onwards, so they will get exactly 2 months clear 60 days
Yes.
before they join in the autumn semester
Yes.
for the next year. So,
because if you disturb this, right, then what will happen, the companies will go elsewhere and we will miss the bus. So I think we should follow the common right schedule for the placement, and multinational activities, the multinational companies have been given that time slot, and they come during that and they go to every IIT, whether online or in person.
So about this, the tests for internship happen in the autumn semester, that is around September of the previous year. So that is what we mean, that there is a coinciding with the classes.
September of the no, generally summer training interns generally they go right
This is
in
the
the month
test.
of May June, but the is there any case like this?
no, internship, the companies, they have the tendency that whenever they have work, they want to give internship in that time. So our academic institutions, they cannot align their program as per the company's requirement that way, specific company. But otherwise, this is a general agreement. So December there will be this PPTs and all these things, pre-placement talks and all these things, and internship will be during that May to July. However, some exchange programs, etc. So if like other outside India, some universities, they do start in September or like September to March, and then March to July, kind of schedule they follow. For these programs also, we do facilitate always. I think many of them might have availed also to facilitate the students with special permission. They try to
Yeah.
map that.
I think that can be done online. If you can take the permission, they will allow you to appear through online, right? And because because once see if you are going abroad or if you have better right opportunities there, then obviously these companies also entertain right those kind of problems. So we will look forward into this in case there is some kind of mismatch.
So moving on to our last question. So what are your opinions about the 75% compulsory attendance rule? A lot of students are concerned regarding that.
See, I am saying not 75, 100% attendance should be there, right? I am in favor of this. 42 lectures, I already told, for a 300 course, right? There will be 42 lectures, 310 course, 56, 42 plus 14, and that should be followed by every faculty member. In the similar way, student, there should be 100% attendance, right? 25%, which is the case generally if there is a problem, right? If you have any medical problem, if you have any personal problem, we always entertain. In those cases, even attendance is 70% because of medical problem, because of your personal reasons, like you have gone somewhere, that is also entertainment. But see, this is the opportunity to interact, and the interaction between the student and faculty is very important, right? If I personally feel, right, if the students are not coming to the class, right, then it means either the fault is with the faculty, right, that could be, then we will try to improve, right, or it is the lack of interest in the student, then also that is a problem. Then we have to discuss with the student why this is happening. We have our wellness center, right? So I think I will request Professor Barua, in case the attendance is falling short by 70%, send the student to wellness center, right? Just to identify what is the issue. So please attend the classes regularly, and because your feedback to the faculty also improves the faculty quality of teaching, right? And this is what we want to bring the IIT Roorkee among the top 100. And this will happen only when our faculty members are very sensitive, when our students are very sensitive. And these all data, right, the data which is, right, coming from you, feedback, the data which is coming, right, from the faculty, all data are being transferred somewhere, right? So our outreach should be very important with positivity. Sometimes we do not feel that, right? We talk in a different platform, right? I have observed many times, and that gives the wrong impression to the placement company. Placement company always look at your feedback, right? हमको नहीं पता होता, लेकिन वो पता कर रहे होते हैं कि IIT रुड़की कैसा है, वहां जाना चाहिए कि नहीं जाना चाहिए. कई बार क्या होता है कि यहाँ छोटी छोटी चीजों के लिए लोगों ने मीडिया में लिख दिया, तो बाहर, क्योंकि व्हेन आई वाज इन दिल्ली तब यही होता था कि यहाँ स्टिल यूनिवर्सिटी कल्चर है. व्हाई देयर इज a university culture? We should get out of this university culture. This is IIT. तो वो मुझे चाहिए, 100% अटेंडेंस चाहिए. लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम आई एम पॉजिटिव, आई नो द स्टूडेंट प्रॉब्लम आल्सो, राइट? क्योंकि अगर किसी की पर्सनल प्रॉब्लम है तब 70% अटेंडेंस पे भी चलेगा, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है ना. स्पेशल केस में आई हैव डन दैट. बट मेरा सजेशन है कि क्लास में आओ. डिसिप्लिन इट्स अ टाइम, राइट, टू लर्न द डिसिप्लिन. कल को आप मल्टीनेशनल में जाओगे, वो 8 to 8 आपको जॉब देंगे. They will give you very high package, but they expect from all of you to be there at 8 a.m. in the morning. तब कैसे करोगे? वहां तो अगले साल वो आपको ले ऑफ कर देंगे, है ना? तो आई थिंक वी हैव टू लुक एट दैट. ये चीजें यहाँ पे डिसिप्लिन भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. तो प्लीज डू अटेंड द क्लासेस रेगुलरली. और जो ये 25% का ग्रेस पीरियड दिया हुआ है, वो आपका एक्सेप्शनल केसेस के लिए है. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट. बट अगर आप लोगों को कोई स्पेसिफिक रीजन है तो बता दो मुझे, उसमें जिसमें आपको लगता है कि नहीं 25% तो वेव ऑफ होना चाहिए.
So, what about students who want to pursue something different from the course that they're doing? So the classes are taking up a very big chunk of their day, like 6 to 8 hours normally. Classes, practicals, tutorials. So do you feel that some more grace could be given, that is, for those who are pursuing a different field than their core?
नहीं, co-curricular and extracurricular activity is very important. See, if you are playing game, आपको GC इसलिए मिली because these students are working hard for that, right? So, and they get the advantage because personality development is very important. I don't want the student to be bookish, right? Your personality development, your outreach is very important. How do you interact in outside IIT Roorkee campus is very important. So that will come only when you interact with other students, when you meet the students of other departments, when you go out of IIT Roorkee and visit the other IITs or other universities and abroad, and then you will be able to see that how the world is moving. World is growing at an exponential rate. We have to, right, if you want to catch, we have to improve our performance also with an exponential rate. Make it clear. So it means we have to be multidimensional. It's not like that कि हमने एक इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग ब्रांच पढ़ ली और we are enough. Multi-dimensional approach is very important, and for that you have to make your academic calendar, you have to make your calendar for extracurricular, you have to make your calendar for co-curricular, and you have to make your calendar for how are you looking for your future, whether you want to go for management, whether you want to go for GRE, TOEFL, you have to prepare accordingly since from second year. Okay? Then only you can compete with the world. You have to give that right kind of mindset, and जहाँ तक भी support है, we will look forward कि कैसे आपके curriculum time को, जो आप कह रहे हो कि heavily loaded, वैसे 5 course तो होते हैं एक semester में, right? 5 courses होते हैं और 5 ही तो होते हैं और एक lab होती है, तो उसके बाद तो time मिल जाता है.
मतलब sir, 6 to 8 hours, if somebody is giving 2 classes only, assuming that they are not interested in the course that they're studying, it is difficult to give time to other things. Like if it is taking 6 to 8 hours, and if you count, they can maximum give another 6 hours or another 8 hours to the thing that they're interested in. So that is acting as a something that's stopping them from pursuing their interest. The attendance rule being so stringent and strict.
मेरा तो मानना है कि 8 to 12 करना चाहिए आप लोगों को काम इस समय, है ना। 8 to 8 तो मैं ऑल फैकल्टीज एक्सपेक्ट करता हूँ, आप लोग यंग हैं तो 8 to 12 नाइट तक काम करते हैं। अब 8 to 12 नाइट तो बहुत लंबा, अगर इतने घंटे काम कर रहे हो तो आई थिंक कोई भी स्कोप नहीं है कि आपके पास टाइम नहीं है ना। आपको बस ऑप्टिमाइज करना है। ऑप्टिमाइजेशन का जो है आप एनपीटीएल से कोर्स करिए, कहीं से करिए, और लुक एट दैट हाउ कैन यू राइट ऑप्टिमाइज योर टाइम शेड्यूल। बट एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एंड को करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। उसमें अगर हमारा एनईपी में कुछ लगता है, आई थिंक एनईपी में वी हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन केयर ऑफ द कोर्स कंटेंट, तो अभी काफी रिड्यूस सिलेबस है एंड दैट विल गिव यू द टाइम। बट अगर कहीं पे आपको लगता है, उस समय आप टीचर को बता दीजिए कि यू आर गोइंग फॉर दिस एक्टिविटी, आई थिंक दे विल गिव यू द टाइम फॉर दैट। ऐसे ये नहीं है कि टीचर मना करेंगे कि नहीं आप क्लास छोड़ के आप बाद में नोट्स ले लीजिए, किसी से पढ़ लीजिए, सेल्फ स्टडी कर दीजिए उसको। तो उस केस में, स्पेशल केसेस में वी विल अलाउ, राइट। इफ यू आर यूजिंग योर टाइम फॉर सम अदर एक्टिविटी विच इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर योर राइट कैरियर, वी विल नॉट स्टॉप, राइट। लेट मी सी, या no, first and last one, I think that he has raised hand. See, very well said. Actually, in such cases, what happens? See, मैं होता तो मैं ये कहूँगा कि I will attend this his lecture also, but I will also go to YouTube, because even 1 hour of lecture, right? There may be many things which have not been taught, right? And so, what you should do, you attend that lecture and again revisit that YouTube lecture, or some other professor who is from Stanford or other very high university, listen to him also. And then I think definitely your learning will be much better, right? I think and even sometime what happens, right? You can discuss that with the professor also, that you taught me this thing and then I learned, I just listened to his lecture and I found it very, professor will also go there, right? And I think it's a learning what we say through experience, that is one thing. And same thing that we are also learning, when we are teaching we are also learning, so that is also important, right? So I think both ways we should do. Yeah, I think you have a question and now you're leaving. Okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah. See, unicorn, right, will take time. And that will come, right, if we start from today, right? Then maybe next 20 years, so like today, you are here as a student, and maybe after, right, 25 years, you will come here as an alumni. And then we ask you, right, where are you? Because that time we ask you to donate certain things for IIT Roorkee, right? And that time it comes of the order of say 100 crore, 500 crore. This is the competition now, right? So I want that IIT Roorkee alumni should be of that capability, that when we need or when the student needs something, right, they say, okay, we are donating 100 crore rupee for this building. Go ahead. That kind of, right, mindset should be there. And for that, you have to work hard since from now and 20 years. So you have to think now from here कि आज से 20 साल बाद आप अपने को कहाँ देख रहे हैं, right? So when I say unicorn, it's $1 billion, right? You are talking about $1 billion, right? And you can make it, correct? So that's why we have started it with a startup activity. A startup activity will go some kind of, right, entrepreneurship, that is activity, a kind of business, and that business will expand and surely it will convert to a unicorn, right? So presently there are, I think, 2 unicorns, right, what I can see from IIT Roorkee. IIT Delhi has 20 unicorns, and something like that I would like to see from here, right? That in 2047 there should be 10 unicorns, right? A minimum, I am saying, minimum 10 unicorns, correct? So this will happen. So it means our vision is important and support of a student is important, and students should have that kind of mindset, right? So always say that yes, I can do that, right? So instead of looking for the job in an MNC, 2-3 साल जॉब करो, उसके बाद सोचो कि I would like to set up my own industry. वो करना है.
So we have about 10 minutes remaining. We'll take 2 or 3 more questions.
Great. I love this enthusiasm. See, that's what, since you are registered in IIT Roorkee campus, right? You are registered in a particular department. So your responsibility is first, you fulfill your responsibilities for the department or institute, right? And then if you find time, then you can do rest of the thing like Saturday, Sunday, or if you have a very good business, you can hire a person who can do rest of the jobs for you, right? See, after evening hours, you are free, you can do. But the classes are very important, right? 75% attendance rule which has been made, right? I think because this is our responsibility to, right, make you functional, attend the classes, get the degree, because for getting this degree, attending the classes are very important, passing the course is very important, and maintain a certain CGPA is very important, right? See, that's every time the philosophy says that, right? Even Bill Gates did not read anything, right, and he became the billionaire, right? But since you have appeared in JEE, you came to IIT Roorkee system, now you have to follow the rules and regulations also. That also are very important to follow the rules and regulations. See, everywhere this is rules and regulation. Wherever you go, even when you are doing your business, you have to follow the rules of regulation of the statutory laws of the government, right? You have to pay the taxes. You cannot say that I will not pay tax. You cannot say that I will market without any permission from the whatever the body, local body, right? You cannot disturb the ecological system. So you have the responsibility to the society, right? And you cannot say that I will be independent. You have a responsibility for the society. Similarly, I have a responsibility for IIT Roorkee, right? All faculty members have the responsibility for the IIT Roorkee maintaining the campus bright, right? Similarly, as a student, you have a responsibility because you are registered in the course. You have responsibility for your department. You bring the name of the department, institute. We have expectation from you, right? So you have to manage with that 75% attendance which everybody is talking, right? And rest of the things are in your hand, right? So my suggestion would be get the degree and then increase the business. And I am sure if you have that engineering degree, right, you will have much more. So whatever degree branch, forget about whether it is bioscience or computer engineering, right? With bioscience, you can do much better, which a computer science graduate cannot do. That's what I'm saying. So your degree has no barrier. Since you are registered to IIT Roorkee, so your first thing is that you fulfill that responsibility. Otherwise, without, just after 10+2, you would have gone to some local college or somewhere, you get the degree and then you would have done the business also. But at IIT Roorkee, you are in IIT Roorkee, IITs have certain norms. I think we should follow those norms. That's why it is IIT, brand is there. Yes. अभी आपको ये लग रहा है, लेकिन आज से 5 साल बाद जब आप सोचोगे, जब आपको कि आईआईटी में क्या पाया क्या खोया, देन यू विल फील प्राउड कि मैंने सही किया, मुझे जो गाइडेंस मिला वो सही मिला. अभी आप, क्योंकि ये एक शॉर्ट टाइम का डिसीजन होता है जो आप ले रहे हो, बट वंस यू गेट द डिग्री एंड देन यू सी पोस्ट 5 years there, from there, and interact with your right batchmate, you'll feel right that what I was told here today, right, you will remember that. Right? Sometimes हम लोग सोचते हैं कि ये शॉर्ट टर्म गोल लेके भाग जाते हैं शॉर्ट रास्ते में, लेकिन जब देखते हैं कि उसको ठीक से देखेंगे तो पता चला उस रास्ते में बहुत ज्यादा डेंजर है कंपेयर टू लॉन्गर रूट, है ना. तो दिस इज माय सजेशन.
So it is generally seen that certain departments provide higher grades to students and certain departments provides quite low grades. So when it comes at the time of third year, then we have to choose a minor. So many departments have a like disadvantage as compared to other departments, and that even also comes in the placements and internship seasons. There are companies look for CG. So I believe there should be a regularized, normalized way of marking to all the students. As professor says that they have everything, we go to professors, we say that this is there, this is there. They say that I won't change. I'm this person graduated from that college, I won't change. You bring permission from director or dean, then I will change. And I don't believe that's so easy to do.
Yeah, I think it should not happen, right? But anyway, I will check that because the grading is related to the class actually. But I don't know why the placement companies also consider in terms of the branch and for a particular branch. But sometimes you rightly, I know the point which you are raising. Sometimes what happens, the MNCs come, they say we would like to have only CGPA above 8, right? And then all those who got above 8, they will go for the interview. But I have already sensitized right to Dean Academic also that the grading should have certain patterns, certain criteria, and based on that only grading should come. But grading, it's a relative grading, right? In 100 student in a class, then maybe I was already said that 50% should have A minus B, so above average, and remaining 50 should be below average. But that can be changed, right? In terms of maybe instead of 50, it can be 60 or 70% because sometimes all students may be exceptionally good, right? So does not mean that they should all get A, that is also not right, and they should all get the below 50% D, that is also not right. So it's a discussion of the faculty, and that's why the moderation is very important. And somehow I think moderation should be done, at least because sometimes what happens, the young faculty members, they are not aware how the grading pattern should be done, but we should train them. So I think that kind of things we will look at. So this is where the academic curriculum meeting happened, and lot of right suggestions came, and we are incorporating that.
There are like professors who don't give our weight to students.
Who don't give
Our weight grade, like 8.
above 8?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So many grades professors are there, like one person would get out of 200, one will get 10, one will get 9, others 8, 7, 6. So we are having a disadvantage.
So we will have one, I think, meeting with all the faculty, and we'll sensitize about the grading. Because I understand that now this is also very important, because if you compare among all the IITs, right? Because the multinational, they feel right that CGPA above 8, but if somebody is in A IIT versus somebody in X IIT, and the grading should be also linked to that, right? So, so that's what I think we have to make our grades better. But at the same time, it should not be too diluted. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Reasonably good. So that's why the relative grading is very important. Yeah. Yeah, within the institute in total. Yeah. I think just take care of that.
We have time for one last question.
Yeah. I think already the mails were circulated, and some mails were circulated regarding the pet dog, as I was said. So I think we need to develop this also. That's very important, flora and fauna part, and uh, we will see that. Right. So far, I think no strategy has been made, but let us look forward. And we can have. I'll request DD to look into, and we will make some committee. Right. But the stray dogs, those should be in a controlled way, because sometimes what happens, too many feeding points are not good. So we should have selected feeding points for these stray dogs, and because everywhere this dog minas and all these things are right in picture. So we have to control that part. But rest of the things, I think, something we will do. Yeah. No, we have funds. We can just distribute a part. Right, funds not an issue. Implementation is very important. So, in what way the strategy can be made? Let me see that. Yeah. I think yeah. You have question. Yeah. Which hostel you are talking? Ravindra Mess. नहीं अच्छा.
As far as food quality is concerned, everybody cannot get good quality of food. If you look at recently on 31st of last month, the students residing in Himalaya Bhavan, they protested that we want food of that particular mess only. That quality is very good. So there are cases where students want food of a particular mess. And of course, those cases which we just mentioned, mess council is empowered enough to take action against the vendor. And we have taken action. There is a mess council. There is a mess council. All the messes are being entered by students only.
But he is saying that quality is not good. I think let us check that, right? If you have raised that complaint, so let us check that. And did you tell to the Bhavan, warden also? Okay. Mm-hmm. Sure. I think the quality is very important, right? But he's saying that the quality of the meal is not good. So it means we'll just note down it. Yeah. See, I already talked about STEM, right? So I am not focusing only on engineering. I am focusing on science, engineering, right, technology and mathematics, right? Separately, mathematics is being counted. See, as I said in the beginning also, it's a multidisciplinary research. Now, any single branch of science and engineering will not work, right, individually. So we have to look at that how your humanities and social science, because ethics is very important in research, right? You know now. Plagiarism issues, undergraduate students are not aware about the plagiarism issues, right? Many BTP reports are just copied, right? the language, right, linguistics, all these are important. So I think, right, the humanities and social science, management, they are integral part of the rest of branches of engineering, right? And we need to integrate all these things, right? That's very important. No, no, in IIT it's very important. See, every IIT is now opening economics department, right? And now we are just already sensitized. I have sensitized the faculty of the right humanities to include the faculty members in the economics department, because economics is coming up in a big way, right? And business tactics, which is related to MBA, right, is very important. So humanities and social science and management, both these departments have to work together and then bring, right, in such a way, the department has to come in that way that other branches of engineering will join hands with them. Otherwise, we are not getting any funds from the outside agency, right? Because now it should be a complete project. Complete project, right? Project cannot be completed unless you do the economic analysis of that part. So economy has come in a big way, and that's why not only this humanities and social science, I would like to see School of Public Policy also, because School of Public Policy has become another integral approach of the entire branch of science and engineering. Yes, public policy, and that is related to humanities and management department. Yes, yes. No, we are just working on it, right? Recruitment of the faculty from all branches of sciences are important. Linguistics, economics, English. So yeah, that's very important. Sure, sure.
So I think we've reached the time. That is all the questions that we'll be having. I thank sir so much.
I think last question we can take, right? Last word here. That's what I told, right? Our DD will look after that, and soon we will have the policy. So you please meet, right? Maybe right with your. If you have some solutions, you please do let us know so that these can be implemented. Thank you. Would you like to go further?
Yeah. I think that's all. Thank you so much, sir, for
Thank you.
attending, and thank you so much for answering the questions posed by us and by the students. I hope that we have all learned something about your vision, and I hope that we all carry it forward.
So thank you everyone, and see, the without student support, right, the things cannot be moved forward, right? And I always, right, say that the students and faculty, the student between, right, the interaction between student and faculty is very important. So in IIT Delhi we used to have a stick dinner. So I think in every class, right, the faculty members should take the student for the dinner, right? For that the fund should be arranged, and those kind, that kind of things interact. So that we call stick dinner, right? Student teacher interaction committee is there. So it can be third year student. So what happens, generally there was a corpus fund 150 rupee per student, but instead of 150 is not a good amount. So if you want to go a restaurant like Soror Portico, it will take larger amount. So what happens that, so all courses can be clubbed together and then one dinner, right, by all faculty and the student. So that kind of tactics should be there. And Dean Srik has enough fund, so he can support part of the fund. So I would like to have more interactions, right, among the student, among the faculty, and between student and faculty. So thank you very much, and wish you all the best, and very happy New Year to all of you.